Hey there, it's Robert at the Sampleist, and today we'll be checking out Mezza Coda, Charming Baby Grand by Sonora Cinematic. Mezza Coda is a simple yet very effective piano plugin with user-friendly controls that are easily usable and accessible. Mezza Coda has 8 snapshots and was recorded with 3 mic positions containing 2 spot mics and a room mic, varying from ribbons to large diaphragm condenser microphone. It also features a really cool cassette and great sounding disc box section. Mezza Coda is worth $64 with a size of 15.5 gigabytes compressed and runs on the free Kontakt Player version 7.3 and higher. In this video, we'll be going through some of the snapshots of Mezza Coda, do an overview of the library and a composition, but we'll hear this unique library in context, and I mean unique when it comes to pianos. I'm looking forward to going through this with you, so let's get after it. Before we start diving into the overview, I do need to state that while the library has been provided to us by Sonora Cinematic at no charge, they are in no way influencing my thoughts and opinions on the library, and the developer has had no input or previous visibility into the video before we put it out. With that said, let's keep going. Alright, so we have the Mezza Coda open here, so let's get right to it. There's not a lot of snapshots, so the first one is called Romance, and let me just say, I really like the look of it. It looks like a cool color palette. And I've been painting my house lately and looking at so many color palettes, that's just how I see it. It looks really cool though. Anywho, so we have Romance here, so let's play it a little bit. Kind of got a good crunchy sound, so you have the cassette and all that stuff in there. Really is a cool sound if you want something that sounds a little broken, but in a good way. So let's go to the next one. Tape King. That sounds very lo-fi and crunchy, distorted. Put that in a big reverb, you could probably get a really cool sound. Let's do that. Let's up the reverb. Kind of cool. The next one. Let's not look at that one. A long time ago. So this one I'm using in composition portion. And it's because of that low sound that it gets with this snapshot. It's really cool. So the reason I skipped this one is because I made that. Let's just go over the ones that were provided. I kind of like the sound of this one. It sounds restricted, but in a really cool way. We have crunch, and like, there's not a lot going on here. There's not a ton of snapshots, so it's really easy to get through this. It's a lot of distortion I've noticed here with some of these snapshots, and I really like it. I like that. As a trailer composer, I really like the big, deep, low sounds. Next is light. And it is pretty light. It's as if there's more of a high pass going through. Sounds pretty thin, and that could be really good for certain things, especially if you have something that's very mid heavy, mid low heavy. Mix piercer. Yeah, this really does seem to be a good snapshot if you do want to get something through in a mix. And I'm using this in the composition, so you will hear how it can go through in a mix and do a good job. Have natural balance. Yeah, that sounds the most piano-y. I really like it. And then we go back to romance. What do you know? I guess I'll show this one. It's just me doing a little bit of tweaking. It has its uses. I'm using this in the composition as well, and you'll hear how I use it in the composition. I think it works well. And like, there's a lot of room to mess around and make your own presets here and your own snapshots, I mean. So next, we're going to go and just go over the interface here because it's very straightforward and it looks really nice and clean. All right, so here we are again with, well, we're on my patch, I guess, here. So there's something about Mezza Coda which I really enjoy. And I said before, the color really catches my eye. It's like a color palette. And it's so easy to look at with even the different knobs. The effects tab is very easy. It's all straightforward. It's very user friendly and I love it. Let's play around with the mic positions. Let's go with natural balance. It's a better example for the library itself. Three very different sounds here. And it seems like this is a large condenser ribbon, and large diaphragm condenser, sorry, and ribbon mic. We have the room mic. Really cool. Did not turn on a mic. All right, yeah, so two large diaphragm condensers, one ribbon. One of the condensers is more of a room mic. Really cool. Let's go look at the dist box, shall we? That distortion really adds a good crunch. Let's turn on cassette. Really seems like you're putting a sub in there in a way. mess with the sound here with the lo-fi and the crunch with mono. Some of the deck noise, actually. Get more use out of this. I really like that. Could really find good uses. So let me turn that off. Nice. That was cool, that deck noise. Brings me back to when I was a kid. Anywho, I'm aging myself. So we have delay. We have a reverb. Now we have our color. When you put it all the way to the right, it really sounds like a good filter's going through it. Is what the release sample is something I was messing around with before. Works very well when messing with the reverb too. The dynamic range, how it usually is with a piano. The further right it goes, the more velocity you're going to need to get the louder sounds. Like the softer you touch it, the softer it gets. But if you get all the way to the left, you're going to get more mezzo forte to forte, depending on how soft and hard you hit it. All right, so then let's go to the effects tab. So easy. All you're doing is just changing the parameters of the delay and the reverb. And you choose which type of reverb you want and delay. I really like that. You can get a good analog delay in here, a tape delay. Like, there's a lot of cool options here, especially if you really want something different with a piano all on its own. And so, if you ask me, this is very easy, very simple to use. The user interface for this is something that I really enjoy. And I'm tempted to look at their other products because I really got good use out of this piano. So yeah, that's it for this section. The next one will be the composition. I hope you like it. All right, so that's the track. Its name is Those Who Persevere. I hope you liked it. So for this track, there's only 4 instances of the Mezza Coda. And that's really all I needed. I'm sure you heard it in at least 2 or 3 of the waves. Um and like for me it really does a good job for what I wanted it to do. And I really think when using it right, it could really cut through a mix, especially when you want arpeggios and things like that to really cut through for whatever reason to push the track along. It really comes in handy. So let's just get started. So let's go through with the first instance, which is one that I put together a little bit. So it's saved as RA piano, and that's one I just put together. I just messed around with it a little bit to get it to be the type of sound that I really wanted. Let me turn off the LFO tool. And, and turn it on. The next one will be Mix Piercer. And it does a good job of piercing the mix. It doesn't sound like anything special in a track, but it does a good job in setting a bit of the tone for the track. Cool. The next one is a long time ago. And this I really use just to hold the bass notes. That's such a cool sound for what it's doing. I really see myself using that in tense moments if I really just want to hold a note or just like have it punch you in the face while still holding it. Really cool sound, really cool thrillery sound too. It doesn't even really sustain for that long, but it does the job in bringing in that bass and just solidifying it there. All right, so the next one is me messing around with the natural balance preset here, the snapshot. Normally, I wouldn't actually write this for a live pianist. They would probably beat me up in an alleyway after the recording session, and I wouldn't blame them. Let me start a little earlier. And that's that for Mezza Coda. Really, really cool piano instrument. It's very easy to use, very straightforward, and the snapshots that come with it really are good starting points if you want to mess around with the instrument and make it something that is really cool. It it's literally called the Charming Baby Grand, which I guess it can be, but for me, this ain't a baby. This is a grown grand in my mind because it really plays like it. So yeah, that does it for this section. I really hope you liked it. It's a really surprising piano. So my final thoughts on the Mezza Coda. It's called a baby grand, and I said this earlier in the video. To me, it's anything but a baby grand. It's a big boy, a big girl grand. It has big sound, it has really good uses, and even though it's very simple and straightforward to use, it could really pack a punch, and you could really go in and make your own cool piano sound. And for me, I like to use things like LFO tool, black hole, and many other types of effects plugins to really add to libraries and sound so I can have my own thing. And the stuff that's already in the Mezza Coda really helps take care of some of the work of having to try other plugins, but also adding plugins to it really enhances what Mezza Coda brings to the table. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this instrument. It's simple, easy, but very effective. And because of that, to me, it's one of the more efficient piano libraries I've used. So if you haven't really thought about it, I would consider giving this a look, giving it a chance, and I think you're gonna like it. So yeah, please like and subscribe to the Sampleist because everyone there is doing really great work, trying all these different libraries and going really in depth on what's happening here. And by all means, please comment below. Tell me what you would do with the Mezza Coda, how you would use it, what type of films or games you would use it in. If you would use it in trailers, if you would just use it in any way, shape, or form. I'm curious. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care.